Hey guys, I'm back from Southern Heat here. I just wanted to talk a couple minutes about the upcoming episode you're about to watch. We filmed this about a month ago up at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in Tennessee. And we wanted to try something different this time, just not the same old investigation. Get looped into the hot spots and who might be there, who may not be there, and that kind of stuff. I think a lot of times the spirits get overpowered by dominant spirits who don't have really a chance to say what they want to say or express how they want to feel. So we reached out to some friends of ours to come along, and they are both psychic mediums, and we just let them do their thing. We use very little devices, very little communication, and just let the spirits come through how they wanted to. And it was just amazing. We were in the lobby area for about an hour and a half. We couldn't even get out of there. It was just so much coming through. And then we proceeded to other places in the hospital. But like I said, we just wanted to try something different this time, and it worked out. It was a great experiment, and I'm glad we did it this way. Hopefully we uncovered some more stuff for the hospital and got them some more answers that they were looking for, and maybe come up with some new stuff that they can look into. But I hope you enjoy it. It was a great time, and I want to thank the staff and everybody at the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital for allowing us in and to do this. Without further ado, I present the soul of a hospital, Old South Pittsburgh Hospital.
All right, brother, here we are back on the road. It is September. It's been a while. We got a new project on our hands in the spring and over the summer, and it had us sort of tied up, but got all that squared away. Now we're at it again. We are actually in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. We got here a few days ago, been out gathering all the facts about the place. So tonight we're going to be investigating the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Tonight we got two special guests that are going to join us, Mike and Marty, and they're going to use their wonderful abilities to help with this investigation. So we're really pumped about that. Yeah, we're going to basically let them lead the investigation and let them communicate, and we're going to follow them and see who they come in contact with and interact with.
And if y'all don't know, Mike and Marty have been featured on Ghost Adventures, several episodes, and other TV shows.
Yeah, they do a lot with Zach and them. They do a lot of unsolved mysteries. But this area is nestled in the mountains, sits along the Tennessee River. The hospital was built on a sort of a hillside, and behind that is a spring, a mineral spring, and the hospital itself is actually built out of limestone. So we have all that into play tonight. On top of that, there was a Civil War presence. Before that, there was a Native American presence here too. So this ground has been saturated with a lot of energy. And as far as the hospital itself, they see shadow figures. They have a lot of poltergeist activity. They have a place called Shadow Hall. There's a thing they call the death box or death room by the ER. And like I said, we'll get more from Ronnie tonight. I don't want to misspeak and give out the wrong information about the place. But from what we talked to the lady there yesterday, she was giving us a little bit of the down low of what to look for. There's a little boy that was bit by a nest of copperheads and died. He's said to roam the building. After the hospital closed, a fact, and I think I told you this yesterday, that they converted the third floor, and you'll see later on the video, to a mental ward. And there was a caretaker that lived there. course, through our research and then the hospital's running them's research, they found out that actually the caretaker died at the hospital. It's on the second floor that actually died there.
They found her in the
bathroom. I don't want to misspeak and not say her name right. I can't. Betty maybe was her name. So we're going to try to make contact with them tonight. But again, back to letting Mike and Marty do their thing and let them lead. Excuse me.
It's going to be a little different on our side.
Right.
Because usually we're the ones doing everything, and we're just going to kind of hang back and watch them work, do their thing.
I guess it's our turn, man. Let's go up and check this place out.
I'm excited to get in here and roam around.
We've talked to a lot of people that have investigated here and have gotten a lot of good evidence, a lot of good interaction.
Welcome to South Pittsburgh Hospital here in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. We're a 68,000 square foot paranormal research center that was opened in 1959. It was born in 1958 and closed in 1998. And we are one of the most haunted locations here in southern Tennessee. Let's take a tour of South Pittsburgh Hospital. All right, so we're on the first floor here, which was part of the main part of the hospital. When the hospital was actually, after it closed down, we had a gentleman, his name was Jim. Jim spent a lot of time in the hospital. He was the caretaker of the building. If you take a look, we have a couple of pictures of him on the wall here. Jim was quite the amazing man. Worked for Barnum and Bailey Circus. Prior to that, he was a paratrooper for the military. And later on actually passed away in the room to the right on the far side of the building over here, where he called his bedroom. 3 doctors that actually designed the hospital, Dr. Taylor, Havram, and Hedstrom, were all community members in Alabama, Tennessee, and Dr. Taylor actually graduated from Vanderbilt College, where he got his medical degree. But those 3 doctors were instrumental in putting the hospital together. And a lot of things that did, which is neat about South Pittsburgh, is the city as well as the county put a lot of money into the hospital themselves. So they did bonds, or they actually just asked straight out for donations. And some of the wealthy people in the area actually helped out build the hospital when expansions and things were needed, such as beds or equipment, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, they got granting from the state as well, too. But I think it's really unique that the hospital did a lot of stuff locally. Right. Like a lot of the people just locally were the ones who helped make this hospital what it is today. So kind of a neat situation. Some of the things that actually happened at the second floor nurses station, most people won't believe, and I still have a hard time actually believing it. So if you look behind the nurses station, you see the door that's right there on the right. We actually had, which is documented, we have a young lady, her name was Nurse Betty. She was in the hospital.
This door right here?
Yep, that door right there. If you open up the door, it's actually a bathroom. Nurse Betty actually went to the bathroom. She had chest pains prior to going into the bathroom. Nurse Betty actually collapsed in that room. If you look at the other door next to you and you notice how the door actually pushes in instead of pulls out, this door actually did the same thing. And Nurse Betty...
in.
Pardon?
It pushed in.
It pushed in, correct. And Nurse Betty was actually kind of a heavy-set lady of color. She passed out actually of a heart attack in this room. And by the time that they were able to actually open up the door and get to her, she had passed away.
That's awful.
So Nurse Betty, and it's documented that she had actually passed away in that bathroom. She was a great nurse. She was one of our star nurses here. This is actually the threshold of the hospital. So this is the latest addition. This is kind of where the old building used to meet the new building.
Okay.
So actually where you're standing right now would have been the original parking lot of the hospital. And we're going to take a walk over into the Tri-City Clinic area. The Tri-City Clinic area, in my opinion, is probably one of the most active areas of the hospital. You have to remember, this is the part of the hospital that was born in 1958. We're looking down the hallway, we got the light on, but that is what we call shadow hallway, which I think pretty much every hospital has, every location has. And I think one of the reasons why that happens is when the hospital was open, but prior to the addition, this is the heart and soul of the Tri-City Clinic. So this area would have been extremely busy, extremely active. and this is the ER department. So you're talking about 2 rooms and 2 beds. So on a busy Saturday night.
Oh, wow. It is small.
It.
I thought it was bigger than that.
Yeah, no. So this is the whole ER. This is our area where we get a lot of activity with Buddy, which is one of our little children spirits in here. If you look, a lot of our paranormal investigators
bring toys.
Yeah, give them toys, give them stuff. It's not uncommon to see stuff move in here, like his little scooter. Buddy, it's kind of unique because we actually looked this up, and there's kind of like a what do you call it, an urban legend where a boy goes out and he picks up a pile of worms, puts them in his pocket, and lo and behold, they're snakes.
Right.
It was kind of unique because when I bought the hospital, Buddy was rumored to be in the hospital long before I bought the hospital, and that's the story that was told, is that Buddy was actually out. He was playing in the backyard. He lifted up a board in his backyard, and underneath the board was a pile of what he thought were worms. So he picked up the worms, put them in his pocket, and they were all baby copperheads.
Oh, no.
He was rushed here where he had passed away in the emergency room. One of the things that's really unique about Buddy, though, is we have a gentleman, his name is Michael Cook, who does a bunch of research. He's also a gentleman who is on Travel Channel on one of the shows, and he actually confirmed Buddy's death. He found out. One thing that's really unique about this hospital, too, and we're going to take a walk over here, this is actually one of the waiting areas as well, too. This later became the ER waiting area. This is where the ambulance bay is behind me. So the ambulance would come here, your family would go here. When you walk through here, this is probably our most famous area in terms of activity with Dr. Taylor. What we'll do in this area is an SD session. We'll have people kind of sitting around in chairs all throughout here, and Dr. Taylor will literally physically walk the area, and kind of you can see his smoke as he's walking the area.
Walking through.
Now, one thing that makes this hospital more unique than any hospital I have ever been part of is what we call the body box. And
Yeah, Rhonda was saying about that.
We're going to walk through the ladies' room. Before I bought the hospital, they actually cut out the hole. But this would have been the body box. So when somebody would pass away, or let's say somebody passed away at home, there were coolers in here. The refrigeration unit is actually up there. There are actually coolers in here. And the only way in and out of the body box was through that door. You are on the infamous 3rd floor. To my right is the surgical suites. Behind me is what we call the crossroads. If you go behind me and we hit the crossroads here, this would have been the psych ward as well as the nursery.
So this is the one that was open after the hospital closed.
Correct. So the hospital actually closed in '98, and the hospital shut down in '99 because they did a drug and rehab. Alcohol and rehab facility, which would have been this part of the building. But this was also the psych ward. In 1983, the last baby was actually born in the building, which the nurseries are behind you. If you look to the right, you can see the windows, and the birthing rooms are actually down to your right. But this would have been closed in 1983. After 1983, they did the Drug and Rehabilitation Center in here, and they actually used these rooms for like vocal training, for jobs, that kind of stuff, trying to bring people back into being.
That was weird.
What'd you hear?
I just went completely blurred.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Like something walked in front of them,
in front of us?
in front of my lens and blurred it out.
Well, what's really, really cool about what you just caught is, so we were talking earlier about my first full body operation was actually right here.
Yeah, exactly where it blurred.
Yeah, this is exactly where we were standing. The nursery is directly in front of us. We were here is about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was one of those nights where there wasn't a lot of activity going on. So I threw my cell phone up here with a baby crying. Really loud baby crying, and out of the corner of my eye, myself and a gentleman named Zach were standing here. We actually saw a nurse kind of walk this way. She stopped dead in front of me, kind of stared me down, looked at Zach, went around the corner, just disappeared. That was the first time I saw a full body operation. Most famous people in the hospital, her name is Nellie. Nellie has a really kind of a cool story in the hospital. She had really bad dementia, to the point where there were days she had no idea who she was, where she was. Unfortunately, the family didn't know what to do with her. When the hospital was open, they pulled up to the front of the hospital and just dropped her off and left her.
How heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking, but on the bright side, she wandered the hospital, from my understanding, for a little while. She was caught by a nurse. The nurse asked her what she was doing, and she had no idea where she was.
Of course not.
Or what she was doing. So they actually brought her upstairs. They put her into this room, which we call Nellie's room. Nellie spent the rest of her remaining life in here. She was one of the people that made South Pittsburgh Hospital what it is today. Nellie was, when she had dementia on her bad days, they would lock her in her room for her own safety. When she was having a good day, they would let her wander through the psychiatric ward, and she was actually, from our understanding, she was actually a very calming patient that was in the hospital. Nellie passed away, and she passed away actually underneath this window, just of old age. But Nellie was a very, very special person to the hospital and to the people of South Pittsburgh, because she was a very big inspiration to a lot of the people who came here.
So where are we heading?
We are headed to the South Pittsburgh Preservation Historical Society. We're going to speak with Caroline and some other folks here that have lived in town their whole life, and they're going to give us the down low on the old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Maybe this red one up here.
Yep. South Pittsburgh Heritage Museum.
Here we are.
Oh, I'm Mike.
I'm Carolyn.
How you doing? I'm Matt.
I'm Mike.
David Head. Good to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you. They said this was a place with all the information that we needed about South Pittsburgh Hospital.
If we don't have
Or
it,
South Pittsburgh, Tennessee itself.
we don't have it, we can make it up.
We,
But we try not to do that. We're good at that.
You're good at that.
Like to come in our museum?
Yes, we've
Yes,
been
we
waiting to
would.
get here. Thank you. Age before beauty.
1951, they rented a small building in Bridgeport and opened what they called the Tri-City Hospital. But that was 19 beds. And over time, the city of South Pittsburgh was convinced they should build a hospital here. So in '57, they had a referendum to float bonds to build the South Pittsburgh Municipal Hospital. It passed 647 to 89.
Oh, wow. People actually voted against it.
So they were really interested in having it. And then in 1958, they issued the bonds, started construction in '59, and in October 1959, they dedicated the first part of South Pittsburgh Hospital. And there was a Tri-City clinic associated with the hospital, so
Okay.
that the doctors were in one part of the building and the hospital was in the other.
I'm Mike.
David Head.
Nice to meet you, Dave. They said you were an expert on a lot of the history and the beginning of South Pittsburgh and how things come about and where you're at today.
Right, I've been collecting or researching history since around 1975 when I was 15 years old, just a kid.
Oh, wow.
Started out collecting Indian relics and arrowhead that I'd find while walking across fields, which I lived over in New Hope.
Okay. Old hospitals built up here in the hill. What was there prior? Just wooded area, or how did they acquire that? They just took it back from the county, or the city owned it and they...
Nah, they would have bought it from, and I do not remember who did, but of course the Cherokee, John Lowry first owned it, then they sold it to Dr. Bostic. That's when Bostic Springs is right behind the old hospital.
There's this water spring right
Yeah.
behind the hospital. Is it
There's
still
a house.
active?
Oh, it's still active. There's a house on the hill, long brick structure, and the spring is right below it. You can't see it from the road,
Right.
but there's a ditch where the water runs.
They said that the hospital's actually built out of limestone. I don't know if that was...
Yeah, I'd say that was because of the spring. The whole
spring.
rock there is
all
limestone.
yeah, so obviously it's a big conductor for
Yeah.
the paranormal.
But the hospital, they started building it. The founders of the hospital started out in Bridgeport at they call it the clinic down there. Then they moved it up here to South Pittsburgh, and it was over the top floor of the Hustler, the newspaper office. And from there, they decided to build a new hospital. And they built it, started in 1958. It was completed in 1959. And I was actually born there in May of 1960.
Oh, really?
Wrapped up with the interviews with the Historical Society. So they told us about this little place called the Tasty Freeze. So we're going to try it out. We always try to visit the local establishments and give them some business. They gave us a bunch of paperwork we're going to review here at lunchtime.
Pretty quick around here.
Thank you.
Hey, I tried my little leg.
There you go.
Oh, I should have got that. That looks good.
Yeah.
Mike, how are you? Pleasure. Hey, Matt. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital here in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
We're glad to be here.
We're really excited to have you guys come in and investigate the building. All 68,000 square feet is a building.
Yeah, that's how big it is. We were wondering.
Yeah, 68,000 square feet. The building was originally born in 1958, opened in 1959, closed in 1998. However, the last patients left in 1999 because the drug and rehab facility, which was on the third floor, ended up closing in 1999.
Okay.
So that was the last patient.
So you're saying that the third floor is still active?
The third floor is very, very active.
And that was it was a mental ward or a psychiatric center or like a mental health?
Yeah, prior to the drug and alcohol rehabilitation, it was a mental health facility.
And then after that, it just sat vacant?
It sat here vacant for quite some time. One of the local doctors actually purchased it. He used it to store a lot of garbage, his car collection. That's when the building actually really kind of came full-fledged into the paranormal. That's when people were visiting the hospital and realized that there was some activity going on. Prior to its closing, we did a lot of research and talked to some of the doctors and nurses, and there were all sorts of claims in the hospital prior to it closing. Things as babies crying without babies being in the hospital anymore, full body apparitions, doors opening and closing.
We're going to do a different approach tonight. We're not going to do our normal as far as going in and I guess just
Using a ton of equipment and all that.
right. We actually invited some special guests to come join us tonight.
We're excited.
Yeah, so they're going to use their unbelievable abilities to hopefully make some contact and maybe get some more answers for you for this facility. Some unknown and some questions and stuff like that have been raised about some things, and maybe they can make that final connection.
Really anxious to meet them.
Yeah.
Well, look.
Hi, are we in the right place?
Yeah, welcome. Hey, I'm Mike.
Hi, Mike. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Matt.
Hi, Matt.
We're doing a triple handshake here. Go ahead.
I'll wait till last. I'm Ronnie, South Pittsburgh owner.
Hi, Marty.
Ronnie.
How are
Nice
you?
to meet you, man.
Pleasure.
Sorry.
I'm Mike. It's great to finally meet you guys. We've been communicating via Facebook Messenger back and forth, and now we've actually got to meet in person.
Yeah,
so,
hopefully we can have some fun tonight.
yeah, so I'm really excited. And we spoke earlier, and instead of doing the same old paranormal investigation, we're going to do something a little different tonight. We're going to break the threshold of this hospital, and we're going to allow you guys to do your thing, and we're going to follow you to wherever
hopefully we'll have some cool stuff.
to wherever you're led
People will
to.
show up, yeah.
We've been looking forward to it. So
Yeah, I've been anxious for a long time
We're excited
to actually work
witness
with you
this.
guys. I know you have a long history in the paranormal field and in helping people, and that's what this is about. You know, there's a lot of times we get away and distracted from that main purpose is to help, and I think myself that's why we're here, is maybe to help and communicate. And I think a lot of times you get away from that with the same old investigation.
I agree.
And I think with them joining us tonight, I think maybe we'll bridge maybe some little.
Well, just think about what the world would be like if everybody actually knew that we don't really die. You know, that there is life after life. You know,
It
people
could be
would
a bad
change.
thing, though.
So like people about UFOs or really exist, or I know what you're saying, right?
Yeah, you
You
know.
have to keep that.
I'm really excited with what you guys come up with because I know a lot of the history, and I hope we can bridge
That's
that gap
great.
and put that all
That's
together.
great.
That's what we
very
need.
important.
Yeah.
That is, and that's what we talked about earlier. That's what we focus on, is mainly the history of the place, the town, and how it connects. All right, guys, we just made it inside with everybody. Mike and Marty are focusing right now, and we're just going to let them lead the way, lead the investigation, and we'll see what happens.
Uh, I've got blood all over my hands at the moment, so it almost looks like my fingers are gone, or my hands are all messed up. So, and there is someone with me at the moment. There. Your dad's over there, isn't he? He's gone over. I'm looking at a man here who's claiming to be your dad. So he's standing here. Did he just like have a massive heart attack or just keel over? That's what he's telling me. So, whoop, yeah, he's with me. So he's going to kick this off. I was talking to you out there, and I thought maybe someone for you might kick this whole thing off because it's your building, and they might want to just like get the ball rolling. A big ass smile on his face here, and he's just saying, "Hello, son." Were you not present when he died? This was so quick. He said you weren't there. It wasn't like he had and made it to the hospital, or, or if he did, you weren't around. You understand? Your mum on Earth? I said, is she with you? And he went, no, she's on Earth. I love you, he said. I love you. This is a loving relationship with you and your dad, He's very happy with what you're doing, and he wants you to know that he's kind of helping you out where he can, making sure that, because he thinks what you're doing is cool. Would you understand who Chuck is? I don't think that's him, right? He's not Chuck. So I don't know who Chuck is yet, but he's mentioning Chuck. He said, bring up Chuck. Is Chuck over there? Deceased. He said, Chuck's with us. I said, okay. His brother. An uncle? Is he an uncle? There's another guy here with your dad who... Is your dad about 6'1"? Who's this guy? That Chuck? Ah, he said, no, that's Chuck. I don't know who Chuck is to you yet, but Chuck's here. It may take a few minutes for me to sort this out with them because there's quite a few people here, so... Is that your grandpa, Chuck? I don't know who Chuck... Who is Chuck to you?
How much do you want me
Well,
to
I
tell
just
you?
want to know who...
Chuck is my cousin.
Oh, your
which is
cousin.
my dad's sister's son.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, yeah, so Dad obviously knows Chuck.
This is very significant.
I don't know why. It must be because they don't mess around. So he's bringing this up for some reason, he's brought him here. They've come together here. She's still here then. Is he the dean? Is he Dick? Richard? What? I don't know that name. Can you tell me your name? Discussing these people, so I haven't asked them where are they. I'm just like, I'm trying to cut to the chase with them, like what? Father clean shaven. Yeah, I'm looking at him. I said, you're his dad, right? That's not Chuck. And he said, yeah. I said, you look clean shaven to me. Pretty much clean shaven the whole time. And he said, yeah. Chuck shoot himself. Chuck shoot himself? Who is this person with the gun? We're, like I said, there is a lot here, so it's a little. It's kind of like wading through things. I have to figure things out with them, and some things don't make sense at first, so I have to. They'll come back to it and try and establish who that is. You may not know some things too. They may bring up some names of people or things, and they want to discuss, and you may not know. You see, or I might be a little off with the name. Maybe I'm a little off with the name. What did it say?
It said hunting.
Hunting. I'm hunting for.
Answers.
What did it say?
Underline.
Underline, yeah. I'm hunting for information, basically, from them.
Is that bothering you?
Huh?
Like,
No,
okay.
not at all. I'm where I need to be now, so I'm good. You love your dad, don't you? Yeah. I'm just making sure that that I'm right with the way I feel about him. And when it said, I'm discussing with them where am I, and I'm in an older building. I'm asking when, in my mind, when is this? Where is this? And it says when. That's pretty. That thing's bloody good, really.
Daddy.
Danny.
Danny or Daddy? Daddy.
Daddy. D-A-D-D-Y. Oh, interesting. That's interesting, because I've been trying to get this D name, and I thought it was Dan or Dave, or maybe it's Daddy. Have you made some connection with your dad through the Ovilus before? Huh?
Yeah.
That's why it said Daddy. He just said that he's. I said, have you ever connected to your son like this? And he said, my son has made some contact with me with something like an Ovilus or something. That's why it just said Daddy. And your mum's there too, right?
No, my mom's alive.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
she's here. What did it say?
Knife.
Knife. That's weird.
No.
I don't understand why it just said that, and why I just said that to you, and thinking she's here. Think there with them. That's weird.
I'm finding this very difficult to keep my mouth shut.
No, that's good.
You're doing good.
You can talk afterwards.
Follow.
You can talk afterwards.
Because, wow.
You can talk afterwards. This is good. So, what they're doing,
Gotta take a break.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay.
what they're doing right now is they're taking my energy and they're making that thing work. It's kind of cool. That's never really done this like this.
And that's what we try to do.
Yeah, well, I'm a medium, obviously, and what they're doing is they're full on now using my energy to operate this thing, and that's what they're doing right now.
All right.
Rather than
Well, I'll check on him.
Okay.
So there was this
Remember your mic?
there was a stabbing,
with them.
and maybe that's where all the blood
Turn it off.
I kept seeing.
Maybe why you were talking about the girls too.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what that's about at the moment. All I know is that that's where they were going with this. Somebody had been killed, and I was trying to figure out who this is and where this took place, and that kind of thing. Honestly, I was a bit confused as to who some of the people were.
I think
I knew they were bringing in.
They always do what is important. This
Yeah.
is important to him.
Yeah, it's a healing. What we do is healing.
Because there's no way what you're doing that yeah. We'll talk later.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like.
No, don't apologize at all, bro. Listen, this is all part of this. We don't judge or anything. This is
Yeah, I think it's awesome that you guys are just doing it. Just this is exactly how you do it. You don't. All these other shows, you know, they have these. They do this thing where they're gonna. This is how we're gonna do it, and it's like just freaking let it happen.
And that,
Real life.
this is how we operate in real life on our job.
The TV people, you know.
Well, someone talking.
Fucking scary is what it is. That's no metaphysics.
I've never heard it say.
Temperature. Because I'm shivering. Jim?
I'm
This
filming.
one?
The left.
Oh, the
okay,
left.
that's my
My
left.
your left.
And the one on the right is my cousin Charlie.
So it's Chuck?
That's Chuck.
I knew he was a big guy.
He's the one that's 6'1".
Was he a bit impatient?
I don't know how much detail you want me to give.
I
Okay, just say yes or no.
Yeah, yeah.
When we were sitting out there, I got this big guy.
The Jim is amazing. There is almost.
I have a device in my hand that you can talk through or use to form a sentence or a word. Can you tell me something else, or did we miss something? We couldn't really hear what you said. We heard a voice and somewhat of a sentence, but we couldn't make out what you said. Is there something that you were trying to tell us? Hear that barking spider? Is that what you were trying to tell us?
It wasn't me. Sorry. It wasn't me. So when you're drawing, do you get...
That's funny. Well, I got my answer.
I didn't throw that out there.
Let's go ahead and head upstairs to the second floor, and
Yeah, that sounds good.
we'll go up there and explore.
There, yeah.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
That's interesting. There is a nurse here.
So Nurse Betty, and it's documented that she had actually passed away in that bathroom.
RN nurse, but she deals with emergencies. She'd be the first one to so she's kind of in charge of everything everybody that's coming in, you know. Is the name like Patricia or Pat? Patty? You did. Do you have cancer? What happened to you? Cancer? Biohazard. That's interesting. She told me she died of cancer, the nurse. Biohazard is. What's this? Cancer stuff in here.
What was that?
Something down there. I keep saying to her, I don't know if anything like major happened here that would, you know, separate it out from any other sort of daily occurrence, you know. And
sounds like Carol keeps coming up. I think she worked here. I think her name was Caroline. She said another name to me. I thought it was like Patricia, Patty, maybe. She goes by Patty.
I just heard a woman's voice.
Did you?
I thought she said Peggy.
Oh, Peggy. Maybe I'm a little off with the name.
I heard him.
Did you hear?
I heard
thought I
something
heard.
across your mic, yeah. Like a woman's voice. I thought it was somebody's belly.
I thought it was her.
Ah, interesting. Yeah, there's definitely this lady with me. I kept seeing the nurse there behind, and she basically just kept sort of zipping ahead of me, and I could see her walking out, and she took me around here. But I don't know why we're here. I keep saying to her, anything special happen? I mean, is there any reason why? Like, is there anything that? Can you make this thing do some stuff? You can just like basically talk into it.
That's Matt walking down the hall.
Here, you hold on to it for a minute. Wrong. Oh, I was going to ask you, yeah. I don't know how much you know about this place. Was anybody murdered, like by, you know, was a nurse or something like stabbed by somebody because they were upset?
Well, I don't, like I said, I don't know how much information you want me to give you.
Well, you can say a little bit, and
But
let's
the name
see.
Carolyn
Yeah.
was involved in a murder.
Oh. Was she murdered?
She was.
Was it a
was
murder-suicide?
It was inconclusive in terms of she was murdered or she was murdered.
Well, who was she to the hospital?
One of the doctor's wives.
Oh, okay. And I've not said the name of the doctor?
No, but you said the name of the young lady.
And her name is?
Carolyn.
Carolyn. Ah, that's what. Well, you have to like confirm some things.
Okay.
For me.
Well,
I think,
like I said, I don't want to.
No. You're not gonna.
Okay.
You're simply confirming what I'm getting. You see. So that's Caroline.
Correct.
Yeah, because she said Carol and then she said Caroline.
Correct.
So go by Caroline. And she was stabbed.
She was not.
Oh, she's. Hang on a second. Who's the one that was stabbed? She's not. Was she a nurse? Oh no, she was the
doctor's
wife.
Correct.
And he stabbed her.
No. I don't. Like I said, I don't know how much.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Let me find out who's the one that's actually telling me all this. It's kind of weird because it's this lady who. Okay, hold on a minute. Are you the mother? Are you her mother and you were a nurse? Are you the mother of the doctor and you were a nurse? Because you had this older looking outfit on. What happened to her then? Did she die, the wife?
Yes.
I said, did she die of this stabbing? Yes.
It wasn't a stabbing.
It wasn't a stabbing.
Oh, it was a shooting?
Correct.
Oh, they said no, it was a shooting. Oh. Why were you shot? Oh, were you the person I felt earlier? You were the one that was down there with me. Oh.
she said, yes, I was trying to communicate with you earlier. I said, oh. Who is your husband and why were you shot? When was this? Is it 20 years ago? What do you look like? Is she fair-haired?
I've never seen her.
Oh, you've never seen her?
No.
Okay, hang on. Okay. Don't
This
say.
didn't happen here, though, did it?
The shooting, did it happen here?
No.
No.
Was she brought here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she's here, you see.
Correct.
Oh, I see. So she was brought in here. Hold on.
Correct.
Hold on. What makes this so big deal? I mean, was somebody mad at your husband and you just happened to be there or something? Or how come you got shot? Who shot you? Was she... Was the person trying to kill her husband?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, this is really weird. What's his name? What's your husband's name? Is the nurse speaking? Are you the nurse that... Okay, I'm a little confused as to who's who here with this. Was this like a big deal or something? Like, is this like a big case or something? Is he a doctor at this hospital?
Yes.
I said, well, where was your husband then? Is he actually in this hospital? And she said, yes. Well, this must have been a big deal for this hospital. Like, this is one of the big events that happened here.
It was a huge deal with the hospital.
Yeah, that's what this what I okay. This nurse, you see, is the thing that's confusing me. She seems to be a nurse to me that was either here at the early stages of this hospital and yes to that. So she knew about this, and I think she's informing me about the lady that was shot and this situation, because she kept saying to me it was like a big deal. I said, why are we up here? What big event that happened here? There must be something, I suppose, that stands out. And she said, yeah, it's got to do with Caroline, and it's got to do with, I thought she was stabbed, but they corrected me and said no, she got shot. And she said that you felt me downstairs because I was feeling like I got shot. Remember I said, oh, I think I was shot here, but maybe she got shot up here. I don't know. I was seeing blood all over my hands, and I'm like, maybe she went like that and she's, got shot in the chest or something. I don't know. But this is who's here. We have Caroline, this nurse, who I'm trying to figure out, is she connected to them? Was she the attending nurse? This is what I'm trying to find out from them. And
I don't think the murder itself had anything to do with the hospital. Is that right?
Correct.
yeah, no, I'm
Was
probably,
it like
I'm probably
a
off on that.
robbery or something like that?
Was she involved with somebody? The wife?
I don't know.
There's,
Rumor.
did a guy shoot her?
They never found him, or the person
Yeah,
who did
I
the
think
killing.
it's a guy.
Okay.
Okay.
There were rumors.
I'm gonna. There's something to do with something going on here. It's like a third party. This guy is the one that did this to me, she said. This is like a cold case then.
Correct.
This would be something we could work on. They said yes to that, so we could work on this. But obviously, you have to have somebody that would be like a detective or somebody that
has access to files or records that we could dig into it and maybe find out who actually did this. And because you gotta have somebody that's in law enforcement to do it. Do you know if the doctor's mother was a nurse?
Not to my recollection.
You don't know?
I don't know. Yeah.
She could be just the attending nurse, and because she was behind the desk, you see, when I saw her, and she went like this and made out like she was taking calls or something, and that she was in charge, and she was in charge of like emergency situations, and I was like, oh, okay. And I think she died of cancer, because she brought me around here, and that stuck out at me. I went, oh, maybe you had cancer, maybe from something here. Over the years, people around radiation get cancer and stuff like that. I see. So it's an unresolved thing, and that's what we're doing here. Okay, I'm getting even pretty clear now. They're like, it'd be wonderful if you could resolve this because it's never been solved. That's what they're telling me. Is the doctor deceased?
Correct.
Yeah, because he's over there apparently. I said, what about the husband? Oh, he's died. Wonderful man. The doctor was a wonderful man, they said, and he was heartbroken that this happened to his wife. Do they have a daughter? Do you know?
I believe they do.
Yeah, because they said they had a daughter. Do they have a son as well? Just the daughter?
Not real sure.
She might have a son, the daughter. And did he live nearby, the doctor?
Yes, he did.
Because I said, well, this is a small town. Did he actually live here? And they said yes. 2 streets away. Was he really near them? Which way? This way. Just blocks away. I think he lived real close. Just
sure, he
like
did.
a couple of blocks away. Was she killed at the house?
Correct.
So where was she killed? Was she at the house or was she somewhere? No, at the house. Was he in the hospital at the time?
Correct.
I said, where was he? He was at the hospital, they said. Oh, fuck me. So he's here when his wife's... was she pronounced dead before she got here?
Correct.
Well, I said, well, was she alive when she was brought in? No, she was deceased. She shot multiple times. Multiple shots. Twice. Was she shot twice?
Correct.
Multiple times. I said, how many times? Twice. She was shot twice. They knew each other. She knew the killer. She knew the killer. No evidence on him at all. No. What about the bullets? They couldn't trace the gun?
I don't know how to put this. They didn't...
Do they have the gun?
They didn't do a proper investigation.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm like, because I'm asking like, well, surely there were bullets. Didn't they trace the gun or know what gun it was or something? Huh, that's weird. So this was a messed up investigation.
Correct.
That's what
From our understanding.
That's what they're telling me. What didn't go well. Is his picture on the wall? She said his picture's on the wall here. They may. Well, she just said we could take you down to where his the pictures are and show you. And I said, oh, okay. Well, maybe we could do that because I wouldn't. There's a lot of pictures, isn't there, on the wall? Where is it?
Well, they're not on the wall now. They're all on.
Oh, they're on. Oh, you took them down.
Yeah.
Now this will be crazy.
This will be crazy.
Yes. If you pick his picture out, I'm
that'll
going
be-
home.
Yeah.
I'm going right back to Chicago.
Do we get a gold badge?
Yeah, I'll give you $20 up front.
Yep, so this is a man. I'm not sure this is him though. This is not the husband though, is it?
That is not.
No, but for some, I said to her, is this a man or a woman? And she said, no, it's a man.
Look at the top word.
Yeah.
Justice.
There you go. You see, yeah. This is why we're here, because they want some justice served. They want to find this person. I asked her, what's the relevance of this guy? You know, I didn't think it was a husband, but I said, well, why this guy? Is this a man or a woman? She said, it's a man. I said, okay. Who is he to all this?
Dr. Viston Taylor was one of the original founding doctors of the hospital. He was a
Oh, downstairs, I said to you, the guy that is like the head of this hospital, that's him. Oh, Viston. It was a hard name. I was having a hard time with the tick on it or something.
What's the one I was drawn to?
Nope, this is just another... I don't know if I can do this, guys. I just don't know. There's no name that I've said on here. Margaret. Marjorie. This is RN, nurse of the hospital. She is the daughter of Mrs. and the late Dr. No, I don't know if I can pull this one off, guys. I have to confess, I'm not sure I'm going to get the right one here. Which one is he?
Dr. Havron.
Hevron. Oh.
What's the first name?
What's the first name?
I knew you were going to ask me a question, and I don't know.
Do you know which one it is?
No, but I can flip them around until I find it.
Oh, you don't even know.
No,
Okay.
we wanted to be...
Initially, I thought it was that one.
This one? Did we not walk around this one? She led you around this one?
Oh, that's him. Oh, she said to me, it's to your right. So I was just a little off to the, oh well. That's him, is it? That's the husband. Oh, James. He's James. Is that the James that we were talking about downstairs?
I don't recall talking about it.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, I said James too. I don't know if I said it down there with you. I think I did.
Well, he had an Uncle Jim.
You had an Uncle Jim. I know, but that name James came up again for me because I know you said it, and then I said, so there's James, and that's him. Yeah. James.
I don't know if this is the guy I drew or not. I mean, he's got the glasses.
So what was the first
Where's
one
your
you picked
picture?
up?
It's in there.
Oh, okay.
You gonna go back up front?
Yeah, Marty drew.
Let's go see the picture.
Yeah.
The newspaper clipping.
Yes.
Close.
I thought that was the first one.
No, there was another one. Yeah, this one, Viston.
Oh, that's correct.
Viston.
Viston was the first one,
The
yes.
founder,
Where
yeah.
was he at? He was.
He would have been right
He
next
was
to
there.
Dr. Havron.
And that
Next
one.
to, and that one was it.
Right, and that was it. So you were
The
one
one.
off.
I was one off. I went back
That's
and
pretty
forward.
close.
Yeah.
I went back and forward initially between these two because I stood here and they said to me, to your right. And I said, okay, so it's on this wall. And she said, yes. And I was kind of umming and ahhing about which one. And I said, well, is that one a guy? And she said, yeah. And I said, I'm not sure it's your husband, but it's a guy. And she said, yeah. And
But this is the guy that I felt downstairs who was like the founder of the hospital.
You said that too.
Yeah, you did say
You
that.
said it several times. He was
Yeah,
there.
yeah. So maybe he was here and he wanted to make his presence known as well, you know?
Or they two, do they work together?
So here's the last three words as we're talking about this: arrest, reel, and head.
There you
Foot.
Did they work together?
They did. They are the two founding.
Oh, they're
there's
the
three
two-
founding fathers
Oh,
of the hospital.
okay.
Those are two of
Medicine.
What if?
the three. Hendricks was the third one.
Oh, there you go.
Is that him?
That's pretty uncanny.
He's got that same smirky smile.
I wonder, was he cheating on something going on?
Oh
with
no,
his
Dr.
No,
Viston Taylor was
no.
really upstanding. Him and his wife.
Yeah, no. This is something was going on, which maybe we'll find
Outside of
out
the
about.
hospital.
Yeah. Something was going on. Yeah.
So
Because that's like an entirely separate thing.
when you were talking downstairs to my father,
Yeah.
my Aunt Pat was stabbed brutally by my aunt, or by Charlie, which goes by Chuck.
Oh.
When you were grabbing your right leg,
Yeah.
he yanked her out of bed so hard he broke her right leg.
Oh, because this leg started.
When they found him, he was full of blood on his hands. He dislocated his shoulder.
Oh, because
Everything you
felt
felt,
doing this. Yeah.
everything you felt
Yeah.
was dead on to the murder that was done in my family.
So come back to this again. I've got like blood all over my hands, and my hands are.
And that was the blood. When they picked him up, he was bloody, and the knife was actually in the car next to him.
Oh, wow. 'Cause
You hit on everything.
well, he was. You see, I was Charlie. I was looking at my hands, and he was saying sorry. That's the one that was saying sorry over and over. See.
Mhm.
And I was.
And when you
I
were
was
talking
just-
about him being agitated, you nailed his personality exactly. No possible way, unless you looked up my family history,
Oh,
that you would know that.
I don't know. So the lady I was looking at was the one that was stabbed, and I was trying to figure out who she was to you.
And her name is Pat.
Ah,
Patricia, which is a name you used
Yeah,
downstairs,
yeah.
but then you kind of veered off that name.
Well, there was some other stuff being brought up, and it's, you know, there's several things going on. You see,
Right.
there's your Aunt Pat and that thing with Charlie. There's this. It's trying to keep it all straight in my head is the hardest part. Like,
Right.
does that belong with this? Are we still on track with that? You
Right.
know,
When she
I
passed
heard the
away,
name Betty downstairs, and I
she
should
had
have
a
said
heart
it.
attack, and the door actually
Oh.
pushed in.
Oh.
She was a rather large woman, so by the time they got to her, she was already dead.
Ah.
So if you notice now, the door opens out. They did that so
Because people, if anything happened,
Correct.
they could get in there.
Correct.
Ah, how
Which room
interesting.
was that?
the room to the right of the room that goes straight behind the nurse's station, that's the supply room. The right of it is the bathroom. So and he hit on that too.
That's one of the names I heard quite clear, and I never said it because I was getting tired of hearing some names, and I wanted some other stuff, and I never said the name Betty, but I did hear the name Betty.
Yeah,
The lady
Nurse
said,
Betty. And she's another really strong spirit that'll giggle. You'll get her on EVP.
"Oh,
she'll giggle,
I
real
think
light-hearted
she's
woman.
yeah."
Well, what'd you think?
Man, I don't know. I'm sort of exhausted to think right now. My brain's kind of fried, but it was a lot to take in, and honestly, completely different for us because we never really worked with somebody that had that strong abilities to communicate and reach out to.
The coincidences of everything that happened is crazy.
It's like
I mean,
everything just
so-
lined up from the beginning to the end.
So much lined up. I mean, it just didn't make sense.
Right. It's almost like a script.
Right. It was almost like it was meant to be. We wanted to let them do what they wanted to do, right? Where they were led to. And it ended up being right in the front lobby.
Yeah. We didn't break the threshold of the building, and we were there for 2 hours. Time slipping or what you want to call it. But and again, it doesn't mean investigating paranormal. You have to go through the whole building or a certain room. I mean, spirits are going to go where they want to go and do what they want to do. So And if you haven't already, I need you to click that subscribe button and like button. Give us a follow, and definitely give us a comment on what you thought of the episode. Help spread the word.
And if you see something we don't see
for sure.
or don't mention, say it in the comments and let us know.
Yeah.